greetings. We're going to do the second to last lesson of the semester, which is 11.7 surface areas of the cones pyramids, which are going to be together, and then prisms with, cones and pyramids, yeah, and then prisms with cylinders. So, first surface area formula we're going to discuss here is the surface area formula, which is effectively the same for cone slash pyramid because they're related. One has a circular base, the other one has a polygonal base. The formula is capital B plus 1/2 of capital P lowercase l. So let's talk about all the portions of this. Remember, on your last chapter test, the chapter 11 test, I am going to give you all of these formulas. I'm not going to label them for you, but I will give you all these formulas for you guys to use. So B is the area of the base, so base area. And then this right here is what is called the lateral area. Okay, that portion. So one part of that, P is obviously perimeter, but L is what is referred to as slant height. So it's not the altitude height within the figure, okay? So here we go. This is how you actually draw one of these things. Let's actually take a square pyramid. So you take a rhombus and put a point above it, and we're going to connect every vertex with that singular point. Now, what I have here, let me go fix that a little bit. So this is my little guided draw for you guys. Denoting that it's a rhombus, marking all these sides to be congruent. And then here's the center of this thing, and then I have this height right here. Down the face, like this triangular face, from here to here, this is where I'm going to have my slant height, right there. So it's on that face. This is slant height. Versus the dotted line is that altitude height, okay? Now, if we're going to do this with a cone, it's going to be the following. It's going to be capital B, area of the base, which is pi r squared, plus 1/2 of circumference times slant height. Now, you can actually factor out some of those terms. The textbook is going to give you something different once you actually work with those terms. But this is effectively the same. It's going to be the base, then 1/2 of the length around it, times that slant height, okay? So, I think is actually a better formula to utilize. We're going to find the surface area for this figure right here. You guys ready? Got a little ellipse. I don't have my autocorrect on there. From those edges of those ellipse, this little dotted line right here, okay? And then I'm going to have a radius for this base. This is going to be 5 inches, and this is going to be 12 inches. Okay? And we're going to find the surface area. Now, this is a cone. All right? So this is going to be B plus 1/2 of circumference times slant height. So pi times my radius, which is this guy, okay? 5 squared plus 1/2 of pi times the diameter, which is 10, times the slant height. So this thing L. Now L is going to be out here. This is L. Which you guys can see is the hypotenuse of this right triangle. So 12 squared plus 5 squared is equal to L squared. So 144 plus 25 is equal to 169. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. That's L squared. So it's 169, which is L squared. And when you take the square root of both of these guys, it's going to be 13. Okay? So I'm going to take my L, plug it in right there, and that's going to be my 13. So let's clean this thing up. I have 25 pi times 1/2 of 10, which is 5 pi times 13. So I have 25 pi plus 13 times 5 is 65 pi. Okay. And again, this right here is my base area. Just to kind of separate this guy out. This is my lateral area. And this is the way to think of it. The base obviously is this circle base, right? Now this lateral area, oops, the lateral area, it's effectively like, you think about those like those paper cones or like a even like an ice cream cone. It's the cone part, right? Like the cookie part of it. And then there's no like an ice cream cone, you got to put the ice cream in it or on it. You don't have to you're not going to cover that lid, right? That'd be that space, obviously that would fit within it. So, you have to think of that's just lateral area of that cone is with the cookie part. Of course, let's go ahead and combine these parts, by the way, because we want the entire surface area, which is just going to be 90 pi inches squared. All right. Let's figure out the volume of that cone. Actually, we did volume in the last lesson. My apologies. Um, uh, well, let's do surface area. I'm going to truncate this lesson a little bit. The surface area of the prism slash cylinder is going to be the following: 2b plus pH, which also could be expressed as 2b plus ch, because perimeter and circumference effectively are the same thing, right? Just one applies to the length around a circular figure or circle, and then perimeter being around a polygon. So again, this is going to be my lateral area. I'm sorry, the base area. Goodness gracious. Sorry, guys. And this one on the right is the lateral area. Okay, so let's find surface area of a figure here, okay? Let's draw a prism. I'm going to draw a hexagonal prism. Showed you guys one of these in class, so I'm going to draw a hexagon. In fact, that was kind of low quality. Let's go ahead and make a better one. Okay, so I got that guy, and I'm going to take him. Oops. I'm going to just kind of squash this thing a little bit. There we go. So I have these two constructed hexagons that are identical. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect all the corresponding vertices. So left, left, top, left, top, left, top, right, 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 front, left. And then I'm going to have 4 feet right here. I'm going to put 5 feet right here. Okay, and let's solve this thing. All right. So remember, this guy's going to be 2b plus pH. All right. So I've got 2. I don't have my base. I'm going to figure out the base. Okay. Do I have perimeter? Yes. Perimeter is 30, right? It's going to be 5 times 6 hexagon. And this is a, my apologies. I didn't mark this guy for you, but this is a regular hexagon. Okay. So now we know, because it's marked. And then my height is going to be 4, because remember the height is that length between the two bases. So I need B. Well, the area of my base. Well, base is going to be equal to 1/2 of the perimeter times the apothem. Well, we already know that perimeter is going to be 60 or 30, right? It's 5 times 6. And then the apothem we have to solve for. So, again, we got one of these things going on. We got the little right triangle. We've worked with this before. It even came up on your quiz. So we got a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Okay? Let me go blow this thing up here. So here's my 60, here's my right angle, here's my 30. Here is x over here, which is 2.5. Remember, it's going to be half of 5. I need to find my apothem. Okay, it's a 30, 60, 90. So my apothem is going to be equal to, if this is 2.5, this is 2.5 rad 3, right? So then I'm going to put that guy in here, 2.5 rad 3. So that's going to be 15 times 2.5 rad 3, right? Figuring out what that is. Now, let's go ahead and pop out the calculator here. where I have 2.5 times 15. 2.5 times 15, which is 37.5. Rad 3. This is my apothem. Or sorry, the area of my base, which is going to be put in right here. Right, capital B, so 2 times 37.5 plus 30 times 4. I'm going to show you guys something algebraically that's going to be interesting. You guys ready? Now I have 2 times the base. Let's go back here. When I went and did all these calculations, this was really 5 over 2, right? Because I just have that side. So this should really be 5 rad 3 over 2. Now if I had left this B, this would have given me 5 over 2 rad 3, right? Which would have given me here 75 over 2 rad 3. Which if I did that, watch, 75 over 2 rad 3. These 2's are going to factor out. So I'm going to have 75 rad 3. And that's going to be plus this 30 times 4, which is 120. Now, if you did 3.5, 37.5, right? And then that whole thing where you're going to multiply by 2, you're going to double that and you'll get 75 in the end anyway. So it doesn't really matter, but this is something just algebraically would work out well for you. Okay? That is the lesson. Good luck.